Stage lights cold as a winter rain. One breath, one prayer, then the world went strange. Crowd froze up when the thunder cracked. Truth on a mic and a life attacked. He talked about hope in a storming land, Bible in the heart and a promise in his hands. But a shadow reached from a coward's perch, cut down a son in the middle of church. And I swear if the tables turned the other way, y'all know there'd be fires in the streets today. But here we stand with candles and a folded flag, begging God for mercy on the road we drag. How dare they steal the breath from a faithful man? How dare they stain the grass where his boots once stand? They call us evil, point at our cross, then pull that trigger and reckon no cost. If it were theirs, there'd be sirens and flames, but we're praying for truth while we whisper his name. Charlie, we ain't letting go of your hand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, sorry about that. I clicked the wrong button. You know, you get in trouble nowadays. You click the wrong button, you might start a nuclear war. Well, so good evening, everybody. Thanks for coming out on this Wednesday night, 8 o'clock. Kind of another yucky night, so that's good. That's why I like this. Kind of nice. You know, you don't have to be outside. When it's nice out, you feel like you got to be outside, hanging out in the little patio area, watching a movie on Netflix. But, you know, it's nice to go outside and do that stuff. But here we are, Wednesday night, a lot of things going on. Wow, the state, we have a budget. Lance, Hope, Steve, Matt, Linda, Gwen, Jeff. Nice to see the gangs showing up. You know, Shank's crew, as the haters like to call us, hashtag Shank's crew. But yeah, we have a state budget. Wow, amazing. I was shocked. We're going to have some highlights of that real quick. Up on the big screen, I kind of changed the channel. I was just putting on some news because there's so much stuff going on that I just want to keep some breaking news. This just popped up on my phone. Legal scandal. Former Gavin Newsom's chief of staff, Dana Williamson, has been charged in a 23-count federal indictment alleging a $225,000 fraud and corruption scheme, prosecutors say. So here's Newsom, the slick Willie of California that is, you know, basically flamboozled millions of dollars of tax dollars into his private little deals, and his former chief of staff, Dana Williamson, gets caught with her hand in a cookie jar for $225,000. Again, we don't have the video or anything, but I just figured I'd read that quick one. I just like, of course, everyone's laughing at it because it's like, ha ha, Newsom, and you want to run for president? And against Josh, it's so fun to watch the social media threads. Yeah, Josh for president. He's going to be our next president. Josh is not going to get out of the primary. No way, no how. That's one of my predictions. He's going up against Newsom, well-financed, AOC, running. So, you know, I'm just not feeling it, you know. So here we are. Let's see here. Let's get this out of the way here. Brenda put this little video together. I will put it up here. Before, you know, we'll hit pause. At the very, very top, ErieCommunityVotes.com. So if you would all type that in, if you can. And then Brenda did this little video on how to vote. It's a little complicated, so very smart idea to do a little quick video on how to do it. So yeah, this is what it'll look like. When you get the categories in search, you just type in radio. It'll come up sports, recreation, and fitness radio station. Scroll down, Boots on the Ground with Brian Shank podcast. You have to sign in. Just click it. And there you go. You hit the vote it. She already voted. So Boots on the Ground with Brian Shank. That is the official video on how to do it. It's a little complicated because it's the category is weird. Because like I said, you got to go to sports, recreation, fitness, and radio stations. I have no idea how that all clumps together. So if you would be so kind, it's recorded. You can go back and watch the video anytime you want. And if you would jump on there with Boots on the Ground with Brian Shank podcast, I would greatly appreciate it. It would be an honor and a privilege again to have 2 awards because we are literally shaking the fiber of big radio and the huge, huge machines of the media. We're just podcast folks. Hashtag live from the dining room. So yeah, Brenda put that together. She did that. So we'll just finish playing the video out. It'll say voted. There it is. Nice little training video she put together. Like I said, I was sitting here watching. You see on the big TV. This is how the voting has been breaking down the motion to. Yeah, they're still working on it, you know. And look at that. 42 days, 20 hours, 7 minutes, and almost 30 seconds that the government has been shut down, and it's all baloney. And the Democrats have basically got caught with their hands in the cookie jar, doing this for political gain. Stan, good evening, sir. You're fine. We were just going over how to vote. I still don't know how to answer your question. I will find out tomorrow. I will see if I can vote every day or if it's just once. I don't know. The rules are kind of weird and a little confusing, but that's okay. We'll just wait till tomorrow and I'll get you an answer on that. Because Brenda Stan asked, do we vote every day? And I'm like, well, you know, depending on how you read it, no. But that would be weird if you could only vote one person once. And if I got the picture here. There, it's till December 14th at 12 p.m. So yeah, it's kind of got a long stretch there of voting, but that's okay. You know, if we win, great. If not, no big deal. I'm proud of the one on the wall because that is the people's choice. That is you. We did that. So let's see here. That's voting instructions. There's that. Now, Elizabeth Warren. Pocahontas. She just loves to run her mouth and point fingers at everybody when she's got her hands in the cookie jars too. So we found this video and it just absolutely blows my mind how arrogant and decadent these people are and how they are literally above the law. They really are. We're not above the law. No, yeah, actually they are. I haven't seen one set of handcuffs come out yet. So here we go.
Your tax dollars are subsidizing the private jets for CEOs and billionaires to go on vacation. Wouldn't you want to know about it? Right now, companies can get a tax break when they buy and use corporate jets for business purposes. I don't like it, but unfortunately, that's the law.
Yeah, rules for thee, but not me. And it's funny, you know, it was this was a post, and people were chiming in on it, talking about it, and people were like, "Well, yeah, these guys do have corporate jets. They do. It's private money, their company's money." And it's so funny how they changed their script. Well, they used to say millionaires, these multi-millionaires. Well, that argument doesn't work anymore because, yeah, you're right. Shapiro has a brand new jet we paid for that he's out campaigning for president. Um, so these guys, if they can secure and have their shareholders buy a private jet, knock yourself out. It's not my tax dollars. And here she is bouncing around on a private jet as she's pointing fingers at the millionaires. Well, it used to be millionaires. Millionaires are bad. Bad millionaires. Well, now that they're all multi-millionaires, now they've shifted it to billionaires. And we've got some really cool video coming up, speaking of our multi-million-dollar newly elected mayor of New York City. And he's got some guts, man. I tell you what, unbelievable. Yet he can't. Well, no, Kim, they signed the budget tonight. We got a video. It's just breaking news that the state finally got their budget. You know, of course, there's people mad about this, that, and the other thing. They were, you know, yelling at Dan for about the school this and the school that, and it's like you can never make everybody happy. You really can't. Let's see here. What is next, Brenda?
A night of protests turns bloody at the final stop of the controversial college tour. Several protesters taken into custody outside the Turning Point USA event at UC Berkeley. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Ashley. The conservative group's nationwide tour ended tonight here in the Bay Area, and that stop comes exactly 2 months ago to the day when founder Charlie Kirk was shot and killed at the first event of the tour in Utah. For this breaking news update, let's go to ABC 7 News reporter Frances Wang. She's live on the Cal campus where the event just wrapped up not long ago. Frances, you saw a lot of protesters and a lot of security, too.
Yeah, Dan, organizers expected these protesters, many of them showing up hours before doors even opened. There were some tense, even violent moments you can imagine with protesters and attendees just standing within inches of each other. At one point, police even had to move the line.
Where were you 2 months ago today when you heard Charlie had been shot?
The Turning Point USA tour ended here at UC Berkeley with hundreds packed into Zellerbach Hall. Outside, students and other demonstrators chanted and protested throughout the night.
They're using our facilities and resources to do it, which I think is just crazy. It's like, go somewhere, we don't want you here.
Events like this should never happen on this campus or anywhere again.
As people here for the Turning Point USA event gathered here in line, they have just been let in, but as you can see, the protesters are upset, yelling at police who are standing there ready with riot gear. Tensions escalated. Fights, fireworks, smoke bombs erupted, creating chaos and confusion. At least one person was hurt, multiple arrested. Attendees and supporters of Turning Point's founder Charlie Kirk not deterred.
When you see someone that courageous with their faith, you're like, why am I not that courageous with my faith? I want to be that courageous with my faith. I should be not afraid to wear a shirt that says Jesus on it, even though everyone looked at me today and gave me dirty looks. It's like, that's okay.
I want to encourage free ideas expression. I don't want one side to dominate the other. And I think there's valid points on both sides.
Speakers, including actor Rob Schneider, questioning free speech here on campus and addressing the protesters outside.
You're coming from a place of emotion, and that's tough.
Even without Kirk, the night and Turning Point USA tour concluded with his signature Prove Me Wrong format. Attendees given time to line up and ask questions or share their points of view. And Dan, there were some ticketing issues, which many of the speakers blamed on the university. As for the protesters, they remained outside throughout the entire event. They remained until the attendees were let out, chanting and yelling at the people here at Turning Point USA tonight. Police essentially had to escort many of those attendees out and off campus tonight.
Isn't it funny how they the left loves to call us fascist, but then they try to crush and silence people that don't agree with them. Now, if you want to look up the word, I believe that's in there somewhere, where they want to silence the opposition. I've never seen a Turning Point USA Charlie Kirk deal where people were wearing masks and flipping tables over and fighting with the police officers. That there's the backstory to that guy that got arrested. He's not a very nice guy, and I'm trying to be nice tonight. He is not a very nice guy, and of course the guy with the shirt on, Freedom, which is a Charlie Kirk deal. That's why we run it behind us proudly every show, every Facebook Live, everything I do has the word freedom there because it is freedom. We have the freedom of the First Amendment, and they love to wrap themselves around the freedoms of our Constitution, but then they don't want anybody else to. Only their opinion is right. I mean, UC Berkeley, I got to be honest with you. It's been a it's been a place that does nothing but create ultra liberal whack jobs. I remember when I got out of the Army, I lived in California. I was in the Bay Area and UC Berkeley. Everybody there was a left leaning whack job. Well, it's California and it's a university, UC Berkeley. I think I drove through Berkeley like once or twice, and you go through Berkeley's history, go back in the 60s, man. It was just a really hot spot for anti-government, civil rights and all this fun stuff. And that's fine, but they're the ones of hate, and they're the ones that are starting the fights, starting the fires, fighting with the police. They scream bloody murder about face masks. Those officers didn't have face masks on. They had shields on. But all the protesters, they had their masks on and their sunglasses and their hats. So they can't be identified. Isn't that funny how that works out? Yeah, and Matt, you're absolutely right. But the problem is this generation of educators are products of the 60s. Think about it. I was born in 63. These college professors are probably my age or maybe a little bit older, and that they remember the 60s. I don't. I was just a little puppy back then, but they went to school at UC Berkeley, and you all the other UCs in California, and you wonder why California is just slowly becoming. Yes, Kev, you are live.
I'll tell you what, Berkeley's always been full of a bunch of wackadoodles. I don't even know why they tried to do that there.
Well, I think sometimes you have to take the fight to the belly of the beast.
Absolutely. And not every kid there is crazy. I can say that much.
I don't know about that, but just like when people are like, well, we don't want to go to the Charlie Kirk thing down at Perry Square because we're scared. Don't be scared. Why'd you do it there? Well, because you know what? Let's take it to the center of all the hate. And you know what? Just one problem. I think that was a homeless guy. So what do you do? What are you up to? What's going on? What's happening?
Well, and the one thing that girl was saying, well, they want to come here and use our resources and they want to be present in our building and everything. But how many times did they take over buildings to do protests? Free Palestine.
Yeah. They burned
and caused millions and millions of dollars in damage. That was okay.
Yeah, burn police cars, take over police stations where the cops have to tactically retreat because they're not allowed to stand their ground. They're not allowed to defend themselves. And we get that, and that's the whole thing. Black Lives Matter. That was just an angry reason to protest. We're pulling statues down of people that had a different philosophy hundreds of years ago. It's not there today. Stop it.
Right. Well, as for what I'm up for, me, I'm always on somebody's cause or causing trouble or chaos. But I'm still on this kick, now. I know I sent it out to the Red Hat chat group. That is a list of every position for committee, and as everybody can see, we've got a couple hundred missing positions.
Oh, yes, we do. That's pitiful.
And
pitiful.
Right. So I'm putting out the seed now, along with you and Tim. We're planting the seeds, everybody. Talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, talk to all the patriots you need. We want you guys. I want you, like Uncle Sam said, on committee.
Oh, yeah.
This is where we're going to get all of our grassroots peoples together under one banner. Because I'm telling you now, I'm telling you guys, and remember this, me and Brian said, we told you so. If we don't get together and get on this, Stacey Garrity will not be our governor. Mike Kelly will no longer be our congressman. And the left will take over everything. And we can do this. It's not going to take a lot of time and effort if everyone pulls their resources together. And I've had people coming out of the woodwork saying, Kim, we're with you as long as you get Shank in there as chairman. Hey, I'm willing to do the work. Tim and I talked the other night, we're going to get together. We're going to put on an event at the colony for anyone who wants to be on committee. We will have our laptops there. We'll have a printer there. We will have the petitions there. We'll give you all the dates on when you can start circulating. We will give you a list of 10 to 20 people in your district and your ward. Tell you where your district and ward are. Get them 10 signatures, turn it into county council office, the voters registration office. You're on the ballot. It's that easy.
Yeah. And then people get a little confused. They think they have to get on the ballot, excuse me, and wait till November. No, if you have your 10 signatures, get on the ballot, and you get 10 votes or more, you're in. You don't have to wait till November to get to do a real election. It's all decided in the primary. All you need is 10 votes, 10 signatures, 10 votes. You get your 10 votes, you're in.
And
that's simple.
And don't be discouraged. If you have a friend or neighbor that's going to be on committee, I still want your name and phone number, because once everything's said and done, and Brian is a chairman, let's say if you're in Erie, Ward 1, District 2, and your friend and neighbor are going to be the representatives or the committee person for Ward 1, District 2, Brian will put you in Ward 1, District 3. Okay, that's how this works. So I want you to know, if you want to be on committee, we will find a spot for you.
Oh yeah, and it's that simple. And Tom Eddy wouldn't do that because he didn't want free thinking people to have a difference of opinion in him and actually vote the way the committee wants and not just the way he wants. And that's not how it works, because that walks and talks and stinks like how a Democrat would want to control. It's like these college kids. They want to control. This is our building. That's not your building. That building belongs to the people of the state of California. Yeah, and
just like the ECRC building. That is not your office. I'm sorry to tell you, Tom Eddy. That belongs to every single Republican. And just so everybody knows, anybody who is a registered Republican can come to any single meeting. They can go into that office whenever you want.
Well,
if you're not a committee person, you cannot vote.
Yeah.
Okay. But you are more than welcome to come and attend any single event that you want to.
As long as there's more than not 20 people there.
Yeah, right. We will make standing room for you guys. You can come sit on my lap if you want to, or I'll sit on your lap, whatever works. The thing is, we will make room for you. Okay. We've been putting together a lot of great ideas. Joe, oh my God, that guy's got the energy of an Energizer bunny, and everybody has a special talent, whether it's sitting at home making a couple phone calls, whether it's filling out a couple postcards. We will send people to come and get those. If you're a great cook, okay, if you're a great at organizing an event, if you're good at getting donations, everyone has that special talent, and we will utilize those.
Yeah, no, I totally
yes,
get it.
Anyone. Yes, yes, anyone. I'm answering the question as it comes up.
Yeah, that's yeah, because that's the other Kim. Kim learned asked anyone,
Yes.
and I said yes, Kim.
Anyone who's a registered Republican. No, we
Yeah.
ain't gonna let you in if you're Democrat. But if you are a registered Republican, yes, you are more than welcome to come to any committee meeting. And that's why I call in every week, twice a week, being a pain in your butts to let you know when these great events are.
Yeah, and then or I'll even go down to the I'll go down and see the ladies down in the office, and I'll just get some pre-printed ones up because the problem is there's a front and back. Some people like to print them out, and that was a problem. They print them out, they forget to print the back side, and then it's
Right.
because of the signatures and all the stuff have to go in the back.
Right.
I will
Well,
go.
and I already talked to Tim. We're going to
Yeah,
go down to his office and we're just
yeah,
going to burn up his printer, which will
yeah,
do the front and the back.
yeah. I'll just grab a
So we
hand.
will have,
Yeah, I'll just grab a
yeah, we'll
handful
have
of them,
everything.
and then that way there's plenty of them. How do I find out when they are? Well, Steve, I mean, basically that comes up in the primaries in the spring. So we get through the holidays, and then we will be talking
We'll
about
just
it.
have a big, good, big old fashioned get together.
Yeah, we'll have a get together, and we'll have a petition signing party, and we'll walk you through how to do it. It's really
And,
simple, and, but it's a simple thing of putting the
right.
word together and getting
I can
people
tell you
together.
guys now, the primary will be on May 19th.
There you go.
And I think usually petitions are due like about a month ahead of time. We will give you those exact dates. As a matter of fact, I should have them by next Sunday when Brian has a show again. You know, we will not let you guys behind. We will make sure you're informed of everything. And speaking of which, let's talk about something great, the handing of the baton, Brian.
Yeah, that's the 19th. That's you know, it's just a very simple literally it's an old baton. It was kind of like a gag gift. And they just kind of do this, ceremonial handing of the baton. Bernie's not with us anymore, but we know she's in her happy place watching all of us, making sure that we stay on.
Her and Ann.
Yeah, the two of those characters, I don't know. Whew, give the big guy a lot of credit for having to deal with those two free spirits. But they were great people. They'll always be missed. So it's just a ceremonial thing on the 19th at the Women's Republican Luncheon, which they're going to change the name to, and it's $15. And then again, I apologize. I thought that meeting was tonight. It's actually next Wednesday, the 19th at 5:30. So I apologize
Right.
for any confusion on that.
The ladies' luncheon goes from 12 to 1. You know, we never go over, we never start early. Miss Melanie Brewer will be there. And speaking of which, okay, start thinking about those May primaries. If you're interested in running for office, especially school board or anything like that, make sure you let me or Brian or Tim know, okay? And we'll get a hold of Melanie Brewer for you because we need to start thinking about the next election now. And that's part of why we want to redo the GOP. We're going to help you guys with that. If you want to run for office, we're going to help you. Okay. We're going to devise like running for office for dummies book because like I said, me and Brian have done it a couple times. Nobody ever helped us. We first started off, we didn't know opening up the checking account or what we had to do and where work. I mean, filing paperwork for state is much different than filing paperwork for a county position, which is much different than filing the paperwork if you're running for a city position. We will help you guys if you want to run for office. There's not going to be any more of this just putting you out there on your own.
Figure
We're
it
going to
out.
give you the
Yeah.
resources you need.
Yeah. Here's a question in the room, Stan. Do we as committee people have to run every 2 years? And the wife and I will be at this month's luncheon. Well, thanks, Stan. That's awesome. So do we have?
That's awesome,
We have,
Stan.
yeah,
I think it's either 2 or 4.
Yeah, that's a
I
good
believe it's
question.
every 2 years.
I think it's
It
every
is
2
every
years.
2 years.
Yep.
But like I said, I'm the social thing, so I will make sure everybody knows about it. Way in advance. I will kind of be a pain in your ass about that or butt about that. Excuse me. And like I said, and one great thing we want to do is, and I discussed this with Brian, we is included in all of. We don't have to have events right here in Erie. We can have events out in McKean. We can have events out in Albion. We can have events out in Edinboro. Excited about this. And we want to reach out to these college age kids, and we are going to do that. We are so enthusiastic about this. It's going to be a whole new Erie County GOP.
new and improved, as they always say every year when the new cars come out. But you got any other last thoughts? We got some videos to get through. We got to watch our time because, like I said, we want to keep it under
and
an
you
hour.
guys all have a wonderful evening. Be careful if you're out on the roads. Hopefully Mother Nature will change and we'll get a day of sunshine or something. In the meantime, tomorrow night is the ECRC meeting there at the ECRC building. And I think it's at 7:00. And you're right, Brandon Garrity for governor. And we hope you all can come out tomorrow night. Have a blessed evening and talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Right. See ya. Yeah, so that's our regular meetings there. They have a meeting that's open to the public, and then they have their committee members meeting, and you're kind of asked to leave. So yeah, Brandon Barr, Garrity for governor. I totally get that. I know I was reading some stuff on Doug Mastriano today that he's considering it. I'm like, oh, Doug, I supported you once. I don't know if I can do that again. I think Stacey is more electable, and I think she's a better candidate. I mean, I liked him. I really pushed hard for him, but he was on an uphill battle. I was the MC at his big event here in Erie, so I mean, I did everything I could to help. But the state GOP has basically already endorsed Stacey, so that kind of leans me a little bit toward that's who they really would like to see. And Shapiro, he doesn't have a chance. He really doesn't. And with this budget thing and I call him Governor TikTok, he spends more time on his private jet that we pay for, going around the country, helping people get elected, and then being here. I'm surprised he was in town to do the budget. Well, they said you probably better come home. So yeah, I mean, Stacey's already kicked off her campaign. She kicked it off here in Erie. That's how important we are. So yeah, what do you got next for a video, Brenda?
Ever seen in my life. This is amazing.
Kim put that together the other night. She goes, "Hey, I need a business card." So I'm like, "Oh man, what is she up to?" And I got that. I'm like, "Okay, that's fun. We can play. That's short and it's a quick one." What else you got, Brenda?
Hi everybody, it's CBS 21's Alex Thill. I'm outside the Capitol building, and this is because they finally passed a budget today. So the Senate did vote to pass on a 40-9 vote, and so that means the budget for the 2026-2027 year has been officially passed. Now, we've been doing team coverage on this today, and my section of this is the Republican side. So how do Republicans feel about this budget? And I can tell you after being in that press conference with them that they feel pretty good about this budget. The three main concerns that they were looking to be addressed, it's education reform, permitting reform, and the repeal of RGGI, or the Regional Greenhouse Gas Initiative. All of those things were addressed in this budget. And that last piece, the repeal of RGGI, that is the biggest win for Republicans. Now, why is that a big deal? That's a big deal because RGGI is the greenhouse gas initiative that Pennsylvania and 10 other states were initially a part of, essentially a cap and trade system. So RGGI has been repealed, and that was a big thing that a lot of Democrats were voting no on. They were voting no on the bill as a whole, the budget as a whole, if RGGI was going to be repealed, and now we know RGGI has been repealed. So learning why Democrats maybe gave in to that, what was specifically going on there. And the other big portion of this is the $50.1 billion price tag of this budget. Now, that is a price tag that the Republicans on the House and Senate have consistently said is way too high and not at all possible. But, of course, today the budget was around $50.1 billion, so where did that money come from? And that is something I directly asked Senate and House Republican leaders today, and their answer was the, quote, couch funds of the government. So they didn't dip into the rainy day fund, and they didn't touch any of that money. So where is that money coming from? They said the couch cushions, but they didn't give specifics on what areas of the government that means. I'll have much more on this and a more detailed explanation tonight at 5 and 6 on CBS 21. I will also try and post the full story here so that you guys get a bigger picture of what's going on.
Well, there you go. That's it in a nutshell. It's more complicated than that, of course. Dave called. Let me call him back.
This is Mr. Shank.
Sir, yes, sir. Welcome aboard. You are live. You caught me in the middle of a video. So what's going on?
Oh.
Sounds like you're out. Are you out and about in the vehicle?
Yeah, I'm out in the vehicle here. This 2025 Explorer, because it's a loaner. my truck's in the shop for a month.
Oh, Jesus.
It's been in there for a month. They're tearing the engine down, and they got all these bells and whistles on this thing. It's like I'm in a freaking airplane cockpit here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Just wait till you do something wrong. It'll tell you. I borrowed Brenda's car one night, and it was, it was late, and I was maybe not, at 100%. The car tells me to stop and get coffee. I'm
Yeah,
like, come on.
I mean, these things are unbelievable.
I know.
These new ones.
Yep.
They got more stuff on them. They got the alerts on the side. You got a car on your side. The mirror will light up. It's unbelievable.
Yeah. No, I get that. So what else is going on in your world?
Well, I just left a meeting, and boy, I'm almost like Shimber now. I'm going to meetings now.
Well, yeah. I see. He's almost out the door, and he was still doing handing checks out and doing stuff. What for mud puppies or something today? What did I see that? Did I read that right?
Boy, next thing you know, I'll be going to ribbon cuttings and groundbreakings here.
Well, we're going to have a new a mayor, and trust me, don't you think she's not going to be doing the same thing? Then
going to be doing worse.
Well, they'll be doing more because they're going to be giving away more money because the county guys, they've got $65 million to give away. So that's like burning a hole in their pocket with our new county executive.
Well, I guess at the meeting tonight, they discussed the new council people, the new 4 council. Well, not 4 new, but
right,
2 new ones, and 2 are the same, and 3 of the 4 aren't going to be too. Apparently, the contention is that 3 of the 4 aren't going to be too conducive to the police department, which didn't surprise me in the least.
No. Well, then you're going to have a mayor that's going to set the tone. At least Mayor Joe was pretty supportive of the police department. He did a good job.
Yeah.
And I've said that before. Daria, yep, she's just a left whack job that hates the police, hates everything, and you just watch. You just watch. We were texting earlier about this, and I said, yeah, you're not going to be up the full complement. All the bells and whistles are going to go. You start, well, crime's down. You've been watching that when they've been beating the drum pretty hard. Oh, crime's down, crime's down. So that'll justify starting to not replace people. You watch. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. Well, I can't argue with you. You know, it's.
That's why.
But other than that, go ahead.
Oh no, that's why I told people. They asked me, so we need to get rid of Joe. I said, you'd be better off with Joe. But Daria, yeah, no, she's way too far left, and that's why she won. The whack jobs got out, and they all voted accordingly, and here we go.
No doubt about it. Curious to see if Mr. Double T is going to get a position in her cabinet.
Yeah, that's going to be. Oh, trust me. We'll look at the transition team for the county executive. And then they got some Republicans on there. Yeah, there's no Republicans on there. That guy is the epitome of a rhino. I mean, trust me.
Rhino.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, yeah.
I figured.
Yeah, he didn't support the Republicans. He supported Vogel because he got his nose bent out of shape about something over the community college. Get over yourself. Well, again, Rhino. You get what you vote for.
Yeah, that's what I sort of figured. Yeah, she'll be worse. Well, they'll both be. Well, both of them will be worse. And
this sets up a bad scenario because the 2 of them are going to be doing lunch together, and they're going to be going, well, the city's broke. The county's got $65 million in surplus. Hey, can you help us out with this project? And with a bobblehead Copeland in there, and Drexel, they're just going to say, yeah, they're just going to say yes, thank you, Jesus, that Jim Winarski and Charlie Bale retained their seats because they would just be carte blanche to do whatever they want, spend whatever they want.
They pretty much can do that anyways, even with those 2, ain't it?
Well, there's 3, and then there's the veto. Then you got to remember to veto something. The overchange of veto. You got to have 5. They won't have 5. 5's the magic number to overturn a super veto. So yeah, they don't got it. They got 4, but Blood Money Scatella, I hear he's not running again. So then you got Jimmy Worthless, that is just a bobblehead for the Democrat Party. He'll just whatever the boss lady says, he'll do.
No doubt. But other than that, there's not really much else going on. The weather's been nice. I like this weather.
Yeah, it's quiet down there, isn't it?
Oh, can't beat it. It's like going to sleep out in Harbor Creek. Nice and quiet. You hear the birds chirping, and
yeah,
Yeah,
the dog.
Yeah.
We hear coyote. Listen, we'll be outside in the summertime with a fire out in the backyard, and we'll hear the coyotes because we have them out here. You guys just have pit bulls.
Yeah, I hear things, but they're not coyotes.
No, they're not. But no, I mean that's the pro. There's a nice house for sale right around the corner, Dave. Just sell everything and move out of here. Yep. Everybody.
Yeah. That's about all I got for tonight.
All right,
home.
Well, enjoy that fancy new car. Don't push a button because it might just.
Yeah, I don't like it. I've had it for a month now.
Yeah, it'll have like an ejection seat in it, and the sunroof will pop off and pop you out the top.
Now, as soon as I get the truck back, I'm gonna go out to Hume's, and I'm gonna get a new Hemi. I'm getting a Hemi.
Oh, big truck.
They came back. I guess they came back this year. They got rid of them for a year or two. The V8 Hemi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get it.
Yeah, they got rid of them, but there was a lot of people that weren't too pleased with them getting rid of that engine.
Well, no, because it was a good engine, and they were just trying to. I don't know why they got rid of it. They didn't call me and say, "Hey, what do you think about these getting rid of the Hemis?" Well, they're expensive. I mean, these things are pushing $80,000, $90,000, $100,000. And it's crazy.
Yeah, well,
but
that's what I'll do. I don't. This is a nice. It's brand new. I got it. As a loaner, it only had 25 miles on it.
Oh wow. Wow, boy, they must like you.
Yeah, it was brand new right off the shop here, right from the get-go.
Yeah, then they just use it as a loaner, then they'll put it on the used car lot. There you go.
That's what they do.
Yeah,
that's about all I get.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Yeah. Have a good one.
Yep. See ya. Yeah, Stan, that was a great post. Oh, absolutely. Sam Tallarico with his blue wave propaganda crap, which isn't there. I mean, they flipped one seat. If that's what you call a blue wave, I'm gonna go with you. You basically flipped one seat. You took out the county executive, so that's a wobbler. Everything else stayed the same. Everything else stayed the same. Not a blue wave, any way, shape, or form. Nope. All the supervisors out here in the county kept their seats. Charlie Bill kept his seat. Even that baloney move they tried to do with Jim Wynorski, he kept his seat because he's a very popular guy. He has been in Erie politics forever. And even though that the whack job left doesn't like him, doesn't mean you own him. The people that he has helped his whole life on city council and then a good run on county council, being the reasonable person, it's just like John Fetterman. The Democrats say, we're going to primary him. We're going to kick him out. Why? Because he, thinks and uses some common sense and tries to put people over the party. Yeah, God forbid they actually do that. I just find that disgusting that they just care more about their party than they do about the people. And that's not the way it should be. So what you got next for a video, Brenda?
So here's where we are by way of schedule, just so you know, you're following. And if you're not at home, if you're waking up to this good news this morning, the Senate's vote late last night of 60-40 opens the door now. The Senate is moving forward on an amended House CR, a continuing resolution, that will reopen the government until January 30th. Added to that are provisions to fully fund SNAP provisions through the end of the next fiscal year, which is September 2026, guaranteed back pay for all federal workers who have been made to endure these hardships over the last several weeks. And it also includes passage of 3 appropriations bills, which we're Grateful to be moving through the process. That is the Military Construction Veterans Affairs Bill. It's the Agriculture Bill and the Legislative Branch Bill. The Senate will be back in session this morning to finish their job, and we're certainly praying that they do. They'll need unanimous consent from all senators to fast-track their final vote. As you know, there are some procedural hurdles that one or more could throw in the way, but we certainly hope that they won't do that.
There we go. You know, it sounds like when they actually work together, what a concept, they can actually get things done. And, you know, I'm actually very proud of the Democrats that were like, okay, enough's enough. This is ridiculous. Even the Democrats, they tried all their baloney. You know, it's the Republicans' fault. But when the Republicans were voting yes and they were voting no, how dumb do you have to be? Where you need a handful of Democrats to vote yes. And they're like, it's the Republicans' fault because. No, it's your fault. But again, that is part of the PR machine to make every Republican the big man, boogeyman, that it's all our fault. It's not true. Go ahead. Nice try. And, you know, you guys did some really dirty stuff during this election. And, you know, it is what it is, you know. But Erie County, no blue wave. Sorry. I have an interview with one of the hotshot political analysts at Gannon University on Thursday. He wants to reach out. He goes, "Well, you're a podcaster. You know, your name comes up a lot in the public world, in the political world." He goes, "Would you mind doing an interview?" He goes, "I'm working on some stuff." I said, "Okay." So, you know, here I am, just a guy out in Harbor Creek. You know, Shank's crew. Yeah, Stan, he had a stroke and his brain got rebooted. Kim, I've said that 1,000 times. I swear it was like a computer that got a glitch that you had to shut down and reboot. But then he said some stuff that makes sense. But I still don't trust him because he still voted for the boys and the girls locker rooms. He didn't back off of that. So that I say be careful. Be careful. So yeah, what else video you got next?
Mandami wants to ban cigarettes and lotto. Take a look at this.
Sources of revenue for bodegas in New York City are cigarettes and lotto. That we have no interest in selling any of that at a city-run grocery store whose entire purpose is to deliver affordable groceries. And I think this is the thing you'll see.
And in Stars New Yorkers, we try to warn you about this. You guys wouldn't listen. So basically saying that, you know, regular convenience stores should not be selling lottery tickets and cigarettes. And what is there to say that tomorrow they cannot sell beef or something like that? Like, who are you to dictate what a grocery store can and cannot sell as long as it's not illegal? You know what I mean? This is a perfect example of what control means. They could take basically anything out the store they don't want. They say, oh, you cannot sell that anymore. And, you know, they could put whatever price they want. Imagine every single store with the same price. You know what will happen, right? A lot of stores go out of business. A lot of stores are going to be able to compete. I mean, everybody got the same price. So why would you go to any other store? Communism doesn't work. Socialism doesn't work. And this is a perfect example of Mandami, what he wants. He wants basically to take control of everything you guys do. You guys going to have basically a government-run city. And that's the worst thing that can happen.
His agenda is incredibly ambitious. It is, as he has described it, a democratic socialist agenda. Free childcare, free buses, rent freeze. The list goes on. I talked to him on Monday night. He said to me he hasn't wavered 1 millimeter on raising taxes on New York City's wealthiest residents to pay for some of that. Now, Governor, you have said repeatedly that you would not raise taxes. You said, quote, I've said there's no new income taxes. Do you stand by that promise?
Yes. Again, what I find so fascinating is all this conversation about how I'm continuing to lead New York State. I'm the one putting money back in people's pockets and cutting middle-class taxes, as I've done, and finding ways to support child care. These are areas where I'm aligned with Zoran Mandami. And we'll work on this and build more housing so people can have a roof over their heads in New York City. I cannot set forth a plan right now that takes money out of a system that relies on the fares of the buses and the subways. But can we find a path to make it more affordable for people who need help? Of course we can.
I continue to be excited at the work of making the slowest buses in America fast and free. And I appreciate the governor's continued partnership in delivering on that agenda of affordability. I'm just as excited as I was about free buses today as I was more than a year ago.
Childcare, I already committed to. We'll be on a path to get there because I'm committed to this as a mom governor. I get it, but also to do it statewide right now, it's about $15 billion, the entire amount of my reserves.
What you doing?
Getting the hell out of New York. Florida, here I come.
Man, you just gotta love that AI stuff. Absolutely cracks me up. You know, Brenda added that little one at the end there, and I'm like, okay, oh my God, that is absolutely hilarious. But yeah, so here he is making all these promises after the election. Yeah, we can't do that. The governor, no, we can't do that either. No, we can't do that. Just like in the city of Erie, after the election, oh yeah, tax increase, fee increase, tax increase, fee increase. So you guys just keep voting the same people with the same baloney over and over again, expecting a different outcome, and it's not going to work. You can't sell cigarettes. I don't smoke, and I get that, but man, that's a huge vice with people, and multi-billion-dollar type of deal. And just imagine the places that do sell cigarettes. Yeah, you can have a state-run grocery store. They're not going because people got to have their smokes, and of course their bacon, and of course Muslims don't like bacon. Oops, a daisy. Oh, what do you got next, Brenda?
Beauty fades, dumb is forever. I mean, I think the president's smart, but if he were asked to go transplant a kidney in the morning, and Merry Christmas from both me and Alphonse. I will not let you down. I'd rather drink weed killer. It's hard to believe that anyone can fit that much stupid into their head. The differences between people and dogs is that dogs would never allow the weakest or the dumbest to lead the pack. You hate cops just because they're cops. You don't know anything about them. Then next time you get in trouble, call a crackhead. I loved high school. Some people didn't. I loved it. I really cared about two things, basketball and cheerleaders. I wasn't very good at either one, but I had fun trying. Either accept peace or we're going to slap you to Pluto. Actually, China will make a deal. Its economy is on a journey to the ocean floor.
He just makes the show so much more funner. I know funner's not a bad word, but it's all good. Go ahead, Brenda, clip another one. We're just moving right along.
That would be it.
Oh, that would be it. My goodness, a lot of time. Man, the time flies when you're having fun.
I just have the voting instructions still up there in case anyone needed to see them again.
Well, let's just go ahead and play that again, just because I know some people came in just a little bit on the late side, and we'll go over that. So go ahead and just play that. Okay, I'll pause it right there like the boss told me to. You can check out the actual address up at the top left corner, eriecommunityvotes.com. Type that in there. This is the screen you will see. Brenda basically made this pretty much a how-to video. You'll scroll through it, start typing, see your match category. It's under radio, sports, recreation, and fitness. Don't know why, but not my rodeo. And there it is. Boots on the Ground with Brian Shank podcast. Hit vote. You're going to have to sign in. Then your vote is posted. There you go. That's simple. If you take care of that, I greatly appreciate that. Like I said, it'd be an honor and a privilege to catch 2 awards. I'm happy with my one. I really am. But I just love to give the left people something to bitch about because I know they're smoking mad about getting the Erie Choice Awards. So other than that, like I said, we try to keep them right around an hour because we're trying to do 2 shows. That way people aren't sitting here for a couple hours, like blah, 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 blah. You know, a lot of good information, some light stuff, but we have a state budget. The feds finally got their together. Oh, that's right, because the elections are over. We got to have some type of angry stuff to have during an election because that's what they do. Other than that, we're going to go ahead and say goodnight, everybody. Thanks for coming out. It's Wednesday. We will be back on Sunday. We'll have some more videos. Again, you know, we're trying to not lean too hard on the politics because I think everyone's a little bit tired of them, but we still have to have conversations about what's coming up next. You have to kind of, like the old saying goes, Kentucky wind, and look into the future a little bit, what direction we're going to go. I finally get paid. Yay. And then that way we can, you know, not give any validity to Sam Tallarico, the chairman of the Democrat cult party of, you know, blue wave. Sam, nice try, man. The only blue wave I see is when I flush the toilet. So other than that, go ahead and let's go ahead and bring this thing in for a landing. Brenda, go ahead and play the outro.
Fight has never been clear. Take a good look in the mirror and tell me what you see. They throw their stones to silence people, build up their walls to celebrate evil. Destructions are what they seek, and they got their man Charlie. But like an avalanche rolling downhill, like a fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. One bullet, one shot, but don't be mistaken. They took out a life, but united a nation, and we are not afraid. We rise up against those demonic forces who kill and destroy, but for God who our Lord is, standing strong and brave, the sleeping giant waves. Like an avalanche rolling downhill, like a fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. They took out someone, a dead husband and son, because of his views and his faith. They thought they had won, no idea what they've done. Now they're lying in the bed that they've made. They took out someone, a dead husband or son, because of his views and his faith. They thought they had won, no idea what they've done. Now they're lying in the bed that they've made, and they created a martyr that day. Like an avalanche rolling downhill, a prize fighter imposing his will, an army is born. Like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. We cried and we mourned, but now this is war. Like an avalanche rolling downhill, a prize fighter imposing his will. He lived without fear. Oh, like the force of a tsunami wave, rising up, going boldly in faith. It won't disappear. Now the whole world hears. So let me be clear, Charlie, we got it from here.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming out. I appreciate this Wednesday night. Special thank you to Brenda for everything she does to bring this thing off the ground, fly around, and land her back. So we will see you guys Sunday at 7. If something changes, we'll let you know. We have our meeting at the headquarters tomorrow, Thursday. It should be very, very interesting. we'll talk about that on Sunday. Like we always say, nice salute, Shank out. Everybody be safe out there. The weather is changing on us, so be careful.